Hey there, Nichole Sims here, the boutique expert, and I am a visual merchandising and marketing strategist, and I help elevate the visual merchandising on and off for established fashion brands boutiques. Today, I want to talk to you about something that I love to talk about, which is other than visual merchandising, which is your people, your team. So if you have a team that thinks that folding in the front, greeting and saying hi is selling, they got another thing coming. You might be losing sales. You might not be converting what you think you do. You might be doing all the things on your end. You're changing your visual merchandising. You're being strategic with your placement, doing all these things, and you still could be having money left on the table because your people don't know how to sell. It's that simple. So today I'm going to give you 3 ways where you want to make sure you're training your people on how to sell and how to make sure that they're taking every single opportunity to engage with their customers and convert them into buyers. You want to learn more? Stay tuned. Okay, so you're going to know, it's actually 4 ways, 4 ways to make sure that your associates are being really good sellers. But first of all, you have to make sure that they are properly trained into selling. Now, if you are not good at selling, then you need to learn that as well. I can help you with that. But if you are a good seller, but again, you want to make sure that you spend the time and that your managers spend the time with your team to teach them how to sell. And there are 3 behaviors that every single great salesperson needs to have. 1, they need to understand the difference between a regular question and an open-ended questions. Open-ended questions are basically questions that cannot be answered by the words yes or no. And they can be answered by a yes or a no. They're not open-ended questions. Open-ended questions, they're like, hey, what brings you in today? Other than, how can I help you? How can I help you today? Those are kind of a basic one. But, do you need help today? You find anything okay? Yes. Cut down. All right. So when you ask a question that's open-ended, it sparks a communication and conversation with that buyer, with that customer, that keeps it ongoing. When you have a closed-ended question or they answer yes or no, the conversation stops and you have to force it to keep going. Okay, that's number 1. Number 2, you have to be able to assess the customer's needs. Once you have this dialogue going, once you're asking the right questions, then you understand why they're there. What do they want? Why did they walk in today? What are they shopping for? Who are they shopping for? And then once you learn more about that, you should be able to assess, okay, they're looking for an outfit for their daughter for her wedding. For the wedding vacation. Okay, they're going to Bermuda for the wedding vacation. We have great swimsuits. We have great loungewear for the beach. We have great things for us. They should have all that in mind, and they should know everything in your store that will fit a person's needs. Once they assess them, they should be able to go to the areas in your store and really know what's going on. And they need to also be very, very well versed in your floor set. If they don't know what's going on, they'll know where things are. It's going to be really hard and difficult for them to find things. Which leads to point number 3, they have to be able to sell, upsell, and ask for the sale. So once they go and they help the customer and they're finding things for them, they have a whole bunch of things going on, a great dialogue, great rapport with the customer, and they're actually going towards the end of the sale. So you need to know how to upsell. So if they're buying, they came in looking for a dress, you're going to upsell them and add on a jacket or a purse. If they came looking for a nice sweater, you're adding a skirt. If they came looking for jeans, you're adding a sweater. Those are the things your people should be comfortable with doing and should flow naturally, because selling is helping a customer get what they need before they leave. It's not just about getting more money or being sleazy. It's about helping. Selling is service. And that's the way you need your associates and your team members to really feel. They need to be comfortable, and it's also being 100% brand knowledgeable, being on brand, looking the part, talking the part, feeling the part, and knowing everything you have in a store. I mean, they need to be 100% experts in what you sell and what you have, what's coming in, what's going on sale, what's new, what the collections are. They have to be comfortable. That's one of the things I was successful for. When I was in stores, I actually was a salesperson. I was a manager in the stores, and I had a very high sales rate because I understood, I took really personally helping my customers and training my people on doing the same. Okay, so I had to change venues, but to continue on with customer service. So that's one of the reasons why I was such a great salesperson. I had my positions that I had, like an Ann Taylor and the Gap and things like that, because I made sure customer service was the best. People came in looking for me to help them. And you want your associates to do the same. You want your team members to be the same way. want to be able to ask for the sale, want to be able to upsell, and to feel comfortable selling your customer. So now there's two ways you can help your sales associates with this. You can make sure that you can do some role playing. Almost all the companies I've worked for, role playing was one of the key ways we actually trained our team. So we actually would have role playing either during slow periods of the day or before the store opened. But places like when I was at Porsche Design, when I was at the Gap, we actually had training meetings just on role playing. At the Gap was a big deal. We went to the downtown Michigan Avenue store in Chicago. All the managers in the region would come, and they would come there and actually take turns doing role playing while being assessed by a district manager. Pretty stressful, but it was the point of really get us comfortable in all kinds of situations and really getting hands-on experience on how to sell in different situations and really getting feedback in the moment, which is really, really key. That's why role playing is so effective, because it gives you in the moment feedback that can learn and get the behaviors you want them to have and the training and understanding quicker. All right, so you want to do some role playing with your team, and depending on how many stores you have, you want to make sure that you have different people doing different sets, but you want to make sure you get the same message, have the same training guide, and everyone gets the same information regardless of how many locations you have. And the last thing you want to do to help your team be better sellers is you want to make sure that they have really good visuals to work with. So of course, you're going back to visual merchandising, it's me. So visuals to work with. So you want to make sure that you use your visual merchandising to help and assist your selling. So make sure your adjacencies make sense. So if you have swimsuits, that you have the cover-ups right next door to them. If you have outerwear, make sure that you have really good, great accessories that go back to them. So you make sure you allow the customer to have that seamless selling experience or sales experience, because the associates and the team members can actually go through the store and help add on and upsell because everything's right there. So a great way to use signage is to have signs throughout your store that have messaging about the brand yourself, have messaging about how something was made, where it was sourced from, and the associates in your team can use those signs to help build and help close the sale. That's another thing I'm going to talk about earlier, is they have to learn to be comfortable to close the sale. Ask for the sale. This is a selling technique that a lot of people just don't do. They think they've done all this work, and you work with them, you ask open-ended questions, they've been in a fitting room for 25 minutes or so, and now you have to close the sale. So ways you close the sale is, hey, we let them take all these items to the cashier for you. We'll take all these items to the counter for you. Hey, would you have a store card or store loyalty reward with us? So, hey, you can use this for this purchase. You're telling them, I know you're going to buy this stuff, so here, let me help you continue with your purchase. That's called asking for the sale, and that's called closing the sale. All right, so make sure that you have that kind of comfortable attitude with asking for the sale, and really have the right language and the right attitude to make sure that they're comfortable with telling the customer, hey, I know you're going to buy this, spend this time, I know you love it, let's go to the next step. Again, that's not being pushy, that's knowing that they loved it and really helping them along. Customers love that because they really know that you're actually there for them. That's actually high-end service. High-end service don't sit there and wait for you to say, I'm going to buy this. Say, hey, do you have a car with us? Hey, do you have a memorial with us? Hey, do you do this? They actually put these things in your head to really cue, I know you're ready to buy, let's go forward. All right. So to recap, first of all, you want to make sure you're getting people who actually care. They actually want to have brand ambassadors instead of having just people who are on the sales floor. That's something that a lot of retailers, big and small, get wrong. They want bodies on the floor. They need to fill a quota. They need to have people to cover the floor, but they're hurting themselves in the long run by just getting fillers and bodies instead of actually taking the time and the energy and the effort to find people who are actually good salespeople. And you see someone who's like, maybe they haven't had the greatest sales experience, but they have a great personality, they look the part, they really love your brand, they're really willing and able to learn and to grow. Take those people on. Those aren't fillers. Those people who actually want to be part of your company and be part of your brand. Those people you can go forward with and actually build on them. Right? So you want to make sure, again, that you have people who actually care about the brand. So you want to make sure, one, that they ask open-ended questions. Nothing that can be answered with a yes or a no. You want to make sure that they're assessing the customer's needs, so they know through these open-ended questions that they know what the customer actually is there for. So then they actually use that knowledge and connect it with whatever's going on in your store, whatever things you have in your store that'll meet that need. And then lastly, they can know how to close the sale and ask for the sale. That's really key. Don't have them do all this work and not be able to close the customer. Oh, this was nice. It felt well, but I don't really want to go, because you didn't give that language to say, hey, I know this is exactly what you want, or what you want for your daughter, or for yourself. Let's go make that next step to the purchase. Be comfortable and strong in that. And the way you help them is you do role playing. So you actually do before the store opens or during slow periods of time, where you can actually get down and have role play like we did at the Gap, or we actually were people pretended to be one person, the customer, pretended to be the sales associate, and they got in the moment feedback, or they could do better and what they were doing correctly. And then you actually want to use your visual merchandising to help them with their selling. You want to make sure things are easy to find, the adjacencies make sense, you have signs they can use, you have ways they can actually navigate, and they need to understand where everything is in the floor set so they know where to go. They're not wasting time looking like they don't know what they're talking about. And the last kind of bonus is you want to make sure you're finding brand ambassadors and not people who are just fillers and bodies. Fillers and bodies to watch the stores to make sure it's not empty will hurt your sales. It also will hurt your brand, because if you're talking about your brand that's high end, or any of your fast fashion and trendy, people want to have a great experience, and one of the ways you can make sure they have a great experience is through your people. All right. If you want to learn more about this, I actually have a book that I wrote a couple of years ago called Reviving Retail. I have a whole chapter just on people, just on finding them, hiring them, training. Goes into way more detail. Go to the link below and get a copy of this to actually help you go through all the things there as well. About your online store, your in-store, pop-up shop, all kinds of things like that. But if you really want to have some really good expert behind-the-scenes knowledge from my 35 years of expertise, get this book. This is really going to help you with it. And if you'd love to have some hands-on helping, I'm also a great trainer. I can help you with your training. I can help you with your hiring process and go through, walk you through. I've hired and trained hundreds of people throughout the years. So click the link below, get either the book or book a strategy call with me. We can talk about how we can help you out. So that's it. Hope to see you in the next video. Please like, please subscribe, please share this with a business bestie, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.